Okay, let's build this player page. And once we've done that, we're almost done creating all the pages. And then after that, we're going to look at data security. We're going to make design iterations and just clean things up a bit. So I'm going to keep the same context here. I can see that I've used 23%. This is useful because this is part of the functionality that we are building. And in actual fact, okay, so I'm going to view the to-do, lesson video player, create a page at courses, course ID, lessons, lesson ID for learners to watch purchased video lessons. I'm actually going to delete this because we've made a few changes here. So I'm going to use the planning agent I can see a small bug here. This actually should have deleted. I'm going to use a planning agent to rethink this. All right, so first of all, I'm saying we need a player page for a student to view their purchased course. The page needs a video player and a list of chapters and clickable lessons. And then add a notes section underneath the video player. I'm going to say a user needs a they need to be able to navigate between lessons as well as mark them as complete. Let's try this. Let's see what the planning agent comes up with. Now, this planning agent currently is OpenAI GPT 5.1. Our Pro Radiant agent is Sonnet 4.5. We'll always use the latest Sonnet model there. And then we have a mix of Gemini and a few other models for different parts of the app. Okay, so just in case you're wondering what it is, they behave slightly differently. We can see now that GPT 5.1 does sort of a lot of thinking, whereas Sonnet 4.5 does maybe less thinking and more just building. Okay, and obviously we use 5.1 here because it is a planning agent, so it needs to do more thinking. Okay, that's just finishing up, and we can see a course player page. Create a learner-facing course player page where students can watch their purchased course, browse chapters and lessons, view lesson notes, track completion, all without leaving the page. This is where it's going to create it. /learn is going to be the name of the page. Requires the user to be logged in. If not, they go back to login auth. So match purchase.user to the current user. Great. Right, so this is quite in depth now, folks. So I think what I'm going to do is going to create a checkpoint. So we're done with this one. This one will be called Learn Player Page. Let's go back to the to-dos. Looks like we still have some questions here. So I'm going to say number 1 is read only. And number 2 is yes. And while it's doing some work, I'm just going to continue reading this. So you've got the layout here, video player plus current lesson information. User clicks a lesson in the sidebar. Got some lesson notes. Okay, this looks good. Let's go ahead and build to do. And I'm going to use the same context from the learner dashboard just because it's part of the same process. All right, time for a cup of tea. This will take a few minutes and I'll see you shortly. Okay, that completed. But what I did realize on my break is that there were no lessons in this course. So I manually created the lesson. Let me show you how. Just so that we can render data, I went to the back end and I went to lessons. We did have a chapter. I renamed the chapter to Understanding ShadCN, okay, in the chapters table. But in the lessons table, I just went ahead, created a new row, found the chapter. It would be called Understanding ShadCN, and then just added the details. And I added a mock video URL to one of my YouTube videos. Let's go ahead and make sure that this works now. Click on Continue Learning. Fantastic. There it is there. In this video, I'll walk you through the best developer workflow in Radian. Fantastic. Okay, and it looks like we can mark as complete. But in actual fact, mark as complete, how is that recorded? Go to the back end to see we have a progress table. And it looks like I've just potentially marked this as complete. Amazing. I'm going to change the user table so I see a user's email and the lesson table so I see the title. So user, settings, display column is going to be, name is fine. And then lesson, display column is going to be title. So now if we go back to progress, I should be able to see these two clearly. Yeah, getting started here, David Jones. Fantastic. Now I've clicked back, guys, and it said it's missing the default param. This is in a slightly older setting we had. But let's just navigate through here. So David Jones goes to his dashboard. And I click on Continue Learning. That takes me through to the Learn page. Okay, I can click on Completed. And it looks like we have some back and next notes, chapters and lessons down the left-hand side. Brilliant, guys. So that was quite a lot of logic to be able to build that. AI seemed very capable of doing that. So at this stage, we've come to the end of our basically to-do list modal tasks that were created. So you can see from the very first prompt, all of this logic was accounted for. And we were just basically saying, build this stuff and then iterating as we went along. Got a few more lessons to go, so I'll see you in the next one.